You say you want change, but you don't need more motivation. You need discipline. Discipline that cuts through excuses. Discipline that reprograms your instincts. Discipline that makes quitting impossible. This isn't about balance. It's about ownership. Ruthless self-discipline is the foundation of power, the ability to act no matter how you feel. When your habits are unbreakable, your potential is limitless. This audiobook will teach you how to become that person, the one who doesn't negotiate with weakness, doesn't wait for inspiration, and doesn't break under pressure. This is the blueprint for total control. Let's begin. Chapter 1. Comfort is the enemy. Comfort kills more dreams than failure ever will. Comfort is the silent assassin of greatness. It whispers, "You're fine where you are," when deep down you know you're not. The modern world rewards softness. It celebrates convenience. It glorifies ease. Everywhere you look, comfort is being sold like oxygen, cheap, addictive, and deadly to potential. Let me tell you the truth. Comfort is poison. It looks harmless. It feels safe. But every time you choose it, you give up a piece of your strength. Every time you avoid discomfort, you reinforce weakness. You have a choice. You can live cushioned or you can live capable. But you cannot be both. That's the key. The moment you start chasing comfort, you stop chasing growth. Because comfort doesn't build you. It keeps you exactly where you are. And where you are is not enough for who you're meant to become. You want growth? You want transformation? Then you must learn to see discomfort as your training ground. Discomfort is your gym. Pain is your coach. Resistance is your invitation to level up. Every time something feels hard, your mind will whisper, "Maybe this isn't for me." That's comfort speaking. That's weakness trying to protect itself. But when you override that voice, when you step into the thing that scares you, stretches you, tests you, you rewire your identity. You stop seeing struggle as suffering. You start seeing it as strength. That's the shift. That's where discipline lives. Let me give it to you straight. Growth and comfort cannot coexist. You can't have both at the same time. The people who dominate, the athletes, the entrepreneurs, the leaders, the disciplined few, they're not superhuman. They just live differently. They wake up when they don't want to. They train when they're tired. They make the hard call when fear tries to freeze them. They choose discomfort daily. And that's why they win daily. Comfort says, stay. Discipline says, move. And every day, you have to decide which one you'll listen to. You have a choice. You always do. Comfort is the default mode of the weak. It's where people hide when life gets real. They drown themselves in distractions, scrolling, snacking, sleeping, escaping. They call it self-care. But let's be honest, it's self-sabotage. The truth is, your brain will always choose the easy way out, unless you stop it. That's the battle of discipline. It's not about comfort versus pain. It's about control versus surrender. Do you control your impulses, or do your impulses control you? That's the key. When you stop letting comfort make your decisions, everything changes. You start acting from purpose instead of pleasure, from mission instead of mood, from commitment instead of convenience. Comfort feels good now, but costs you later. Discomfort hurts now, but pays you later. You have to decide which pain you prefer, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. When you choose the pain of discipline, you train your mind to associate struggle with power. You start to see obstacles as opportunities. You start to crave resistance because you know it's what sharpens you. Comfort dulls your edges. Discomfort sharpens your blade. You can't cut through life's challenges with a dull mind. That's why so many people stay average, not because they lack talent, but because they refuse to get uncomfortable. They keep their habits easy, their goals safe, their effort minimal, and then they wonder why nothing changes. Comfort is the cage. Discipline is the key. So what does ruthless self-discipline look like in the real world? It looks like doing the thing you said you'd do, especially when you don't feel like doing it. It's showing up at the gym when your body says no. It's sitting down to work when your mind craves distraction. It's eating clean when convenience calls your name. Discipline doesn't negotiate. Discipline doesn't ask for permission. Discipline acts. You have a choice. Every single time. The weak think they need to feel ready. The strong know readiness is irrelevant. You act first. The feeling catches up later. It's not about motivation. It's about momentum. It's not about comfort. It's about control. Ask yourself right now, where have you gotten too comfortable? What habits, what routines, what excuses have become your safety net? Because here's the truth. The places where you're most comfortable are the same places you've stopped growing. Comfort zones are not homes. They're holding cells. And the longer you stay, the harder it becomes to escape. So start small. Choose one area of your life where you've gotten soft. And today, not tomorrow, not next week, today, do something uncomfortable in that area. Wake up an hour earlier. Take the cold shower. Say no to the easy option. Do it not because it's fun, but because it's hard. Because that's how you train your mind to obey. That's how you break the addiction to comfort. Here's the paradox. When you embrace discomfort long enough, it becomes your comfort zone. You become calm in chaos, steady under pressure, grounded in storms. The very thing that once scared you becomes your source of confidence. Because now you know you can handle it. You've built proof through repetition. You've earned peace through discipline. That's the reward for walking through discomfort instead of avoiding it. The peace of mind that says, I don't need easy, I can handle hard. That's real confidence. That's unshakable strength. Comfort is the enemy because it kills your hunger. It makes you forget that you were built for more. It tricks you into believing mediocrity is enough. But you were not built to coast. You were built to climb. Every time you reject comfort, you grow stronger. Every time you choose discipline, you grow freer. That's the truth most people never realize. Discipline is not restriction, it's liberation. Because once you can control yourself, nothing outside of you can control you. Comfort is the enemy. Discipline is the weapon. You have a choice. The world is getting softer, but you're going to be different. You're going to harden your mind through repetition, through discomfort, through the daily decision to do what's required, not what's easy. That's the foundation of ruthless self-discipline. That's where transformation begins. You mastered the truth about comfort. Now, let's talk about what shapes your destiny one repetition at a time. Chapter 2. You are what you repeat. Discipline isn't about one big act of willpower. It's not about one hard day. It's about the days after that, and the days after those. The truth is simple. You are what you repeat, not what you intend, not what you dream, not what you promise. You become what you do again and again and again. That's the key. Ritual builds reality. Every repetition is a vote for the person you're becoming. You don't rise to your goals. You fall to your systems. You don't transform through intensity. You transform through consistency. Because consistency compounds. It's not about motivation. It's about repetition. Motivation fades. Repetition builds identity. You have a choice. Keep chasing feeling or build the foundation that never depends on it. Most people live in emotional cycles. They act when they feel inspired. They stop when it gets hard. They run on bursts of energy instead of built habits. But here's the truth. Motivation is a liar. It tells you that you'll start when you feel ready, but readiness never comes. Discipline doesn't wait for inspiration. Discipline acts. Because repetition creates readiness. Action creates alignment. You don't need to feel like it. You just need to do it. And when you do it enough times, it becomes who you are. That's how you turn discipline into identity. That's how the strong operate, not from hype, but from habit. Think of the person you want to become. Now ask yourself, what does that person do every day? Because that's the blueprint. Not the fantasy, not the end goal, the daily behavior. You want to be fit? It's not one workout, it's every workout. You want to be sharp? It's not one book, it's every page. You want to be successful? It's not one bold move, it's every small step. You become your repetitions. You become your rituals. You become your discipline, one decision at a time. It's not about talent. It's about time. It's not about energy. It's about effort. You don't need their permission to show up for yourself. You just need consistency. Let's get practical. If your life isn't where you want it to be, look at your patterns. Not your dreams. Not your goals. Your patterns. What you do on autopilot. What choices repeat without thought. Because your unconscious routines are running your life. If you start every day scrolling, that's your ritual. If you skip the gym just this once, that's your ritual. If you make excuses every weekend, that's your ritual. And those rituals are writing your future in real time. The good news? You can rewrite it. You have a choice. Change your repetitions, and you change your reality. Here's how you build it. Step 1, make it daily. Step 2, make it simple. Step 3, never break the chain. The brain builds identity through repetition, not intensity. That means it's better to do a small action every day than a huge effort once in a while. It's not about perfection. It's about persistence. It's not about drama. It's about direction. A 10-minute run every morning is more powerful than a 3-hour workout once a month. 5 minutes of journaling beats waiting for inspiration to reflect. One focused task a day beats endless planning and procrastination. You don't need to do it all. You just need to do it again. That's the key. You become what you repeat. Let me tell you a truth most people never face. The difference between average and exceptional is not intelligence, it's repetition. Average people start. Exceptional people repeat. They repeat the basics until they're masters. They repeat effort until it's instinct. They repeat the hard things until they're easy. The Navy SEALs say, under pressure, you don't rise to the occasion. You fall to your level of training. That's true in life too. You will always default to your habits when stress hits. So build habits that make you strong when things get hard. You don't train discipline when life is easy. You train it so you can survive when it's not. Here's what most people get wrong. They think repetition is boring. They want variety. They crave novelty. But that craving is just distraction in disguise. Repetition isn't boring, it's refining. Every repetition sharpens your edge. Every repetition reinforces your identity. That's how professionals think. They don't need new. They need better. You have to fall in love with repetition, not for how it feels, but for what it builds. Because discipline is not about excitement. It's about evolution. You have to decide right now. Are you going to be a person who acts only when it's easy, or someone who acts no matter what? You have a choice. You can keep chasing moments of hype, or you can build the kind of structure that makes hype irrelevant. You can wait for motivation, or you can program consistency into your day so deeply it becomes who you are. That's the key to freedom. When you do the work automatically, you no longer fight yourself. Your rituals carry you when your feelings fail you. That's why discipline feels like peace once it's built. You're not debating. You're just doing. Let's talk about identity. Because repetition doesn't just shape your schedule. It shapes your sense of self. Every action is a message to your subconscious. This is who I am. When you show up on time, you're telling yourself you're reliable. When you train daily, you're telling yourself you're strong. When you follow through, you're telling yourself you're trustworthy. You become your repetitions. You're casting votes for the person you're becoming every single day. If you skip enough workouts, you become the kind of person who skips. If you stay consistent long enough, you become the kind of person who never misses. That's how identity works. Not through words, through repetition. You want to build ruthless self-discipline? Stop thinking in bursts. Start thinking in loops. Your habits are loops. Your mindset is a loop. If it's not serving you, rewrite the code. One action, repeated with intention, will outperform talent every time. One system, executed daily, will outlast any burst of inspiration. That's why the greats don't rely on willpower. They rely on structure. They know that once the system is built, the decision is made. And once the decision is made, discipline becomes automatic. It's not about will. It's about design. It's not about motivation. It's about repetition. You are what you repeat. Your identity, your strength, your success, all built from repetition. Ritual builds reality. What you practice in private becomes who you are in public. And every single day, you're practicing something. The question is, what are you rehearsing? Weakness or strength? Excuses or execution? You have a choice. Repeat the old story, or write a new one through repetition that serves your future. You become your repetitions. And every repetition is proof that you're still in control. You built the foundation. You understand now, discipline isn't a feeling, it's a frequency. It's built through action, repetition, and daily proof. But repetition alone isn't enough. Now we need to talk about the true force that keeps it alive, commitment. You've started the reps. Now, it's time to anchor them into your purpose. Chapter 3. Stop negotiating with yourself. Every time you debate with yourself, you lose ground. Every time you rationalize, you give weakness a voice. Every time you hesitate, you hand power to the part of you that wants comfort over growth. Discipline begins when negotiation ends. That's the line in the sand. That's where you separate amateurs from professionals. That's where you stop asking and start executing. You have a choice. You can live in endless debate, or you can live in decisive action. You don't need your own permission. You don't negotiate with weakness. You decide once, execute always. That's the key. Negotiation is the death of momentum. You say, maybe later. You say, I'll start tomorrow. You say, I deserve a break. But all those words are traps, perfectly designed by your comfort to keep you average. Every maybe is a pause. Every tomorrow is a step backward. Weakness doesn't show up as laziness. It shows up as reason. It speaks in logic. It sounds like self-care, but it's sabotage. You've heard it. You worked hard today. Take it easy. You can skip the gym. It's just one day. You'll start fresh next week. That voice is a liar. And every time you listen, you train your brain to disobey your own commands. You think you're resting. You're really retreating. You think you're being kind to yourself. You're really conditioning failure. The strong operate differently. They decide once. Then they execute. No second thought, no debate, no permission slip required. They treat the mission like law. Non-negotiable, unemotional, final. When they wake up, the decision is already made. There's no question of if, only when and how. That's the standard you must set if you want to build ruthless self-discipline. You see, emotion is weak currency. It fluctuates. It lies. It disappears when things get hard. Logic doesn't. Logic keeps score. Logic obeys the mission. When you train your mind to obey logic over mood, you become unstoppable. Here's the truth most people don't want to admit. Self-discipline isn't a war with the world. It's a war within. And the battlefield is your own mind. Every morning, there's a negotiation happening inside your head. Between who you are and who you want to be. Between comfort and commitment. Between emotion and mission. You have to end that negotiation before it starts. Because once you start debating, you've already lost momentum. You don't ask, do I feel like it? You do it because you said you would. You don't need to feel ready. You need to act ready. That's the difference between talkers and doers. Talkers negotiate. Doers execute. Let's make this real. Think about your morning alarm. You set it the night before with purpose. Then when it rings, you start debating. 5 more minutes. I didn't sleep enough. I'll make it up later. And in that moment, right there, you're teaching your mind to disobey. You're telling yourself that your words don't matter. You're breaking trust with yourself. Every snooze is a vote for weakness. Every delay is proof that comfort still runs your life. The disciplined don't negotiate with alarms. They move because they decided last night, not this morning. You decide once, execute always. That's the system. That's how you hardwire discipline. Here's the behavior shift. You remove negotiation from your decision loop. Step 1, commit in advance. Step 2, remove options. Step 3, execute without emotion. For example, if you plan to work out at 6 a.m., there is no plan B. You don't decide when the alarm rings. You already decided yesterday. If you say you'll write for 1 hour a day, you write whether you feel creative or not. You don't need inspiration. You need integrity. If you commit to building your business, you show up when others rest. You don't need permission. You need consistency. That's how the great ones operate. Not through willpower, through automation. They've trained their brain to move without question, because they know that hesitation is the seed of failure. Let's get deeper. Negotiation doesn't just kill habits. It kills identity. Every time you break a promise to yourself, you teach your mind that your word means nothing. Every skipped task becomes proof that you're not dependable. And the more you negotiate, the weaker your self-trust becomes. That's why discipline feels hard, not because of effort, but because of doubt. You don't believe yourself anymore. You've negotiated away your own credibility. The only way to rebuild that trust? Follow through. Every time. Especially when it's inconvenient. You rebuild belief through evidence, through execution, through repetition. You don't talk about who you'll become. You prove it daily through action. No negotiation, no debate, no delay. You might say, but sometimes I need rest. Sure, rest is earned, not negotiated. Discipline doesn't mean you never recover. It means you schedule recovery with intention, not as an escape. You rest because it's part of the plan, not because you got emotional and gave up. That's the difference. You don't need your own permission to keep your promises. You don't need to feel perfect to stay consistent. You just need to stop negotiating. Because once you end that inner debate, life gets simple. Not easier, simpler. There's clarity in commitment. You stop wasting energy deciding. You just do. And that's where power lives. Here's a truth worth burning into your mind. Every moment of hesitation is a moment of weakness. And every moment of execution is a moment of strength. It's not about talent. It's not about motivation. It's about obedience to the mission. Discipline is self-respect in action. When you honor your own word, you build an identity that can't be shaken. You stop chasing permission from others and start giving commands to yourself. You stop asking, "Can I do this?" and start saying, "This gets done." You don't need your own permission. You don't negotiate with weakness. You decide once, execute always. That's the creed. That's the code. So ask yourself, where in your life are you still negotiating? Where are you still debating instead of deciding? Identify it, then end it. If you want to reclaim your power, start by closing the door to negotiation. Make the decision. Burn the alternative. Because freedom lives on the other side of full commitment. That's the key. You can't be free while you're still arguing with your own weakness. You have a choice. Keep negotiating with comfort, or start commanding your life. You've learned now that discipline begins where negotiation ends. You've learned that emotion cannot lead, logic must. You've learned that the strong don't ask for permission, they execute on command. But now you need to make it permanent. And that comes from the next level, ruthless consistency. You've stopped negotiating. Now, it's time to anchor that mindset into everything you do. Chapter 4. pain is the path. Pain is the path. Not the obstacle, not the punishment, the path. The world taught you to run from it, to numb it, to escape it, to label it as something bad. But pain isn't your enemy. Pain is your instructor. Every breakthrough, every transformation, every ounce of strength you've ever built came from pain. Discipline is forged in discomfort. The pain you avoid today becomes the weakness you live with tomorrow. That's the truth most people can't handle. That's why they stay soft. That's why they stay stuck. You have a choice. You can use pain, or pain can use you. You can let it define you, or refine you. That's the key. Let's make one thing clear. Pain is not punishment. It's feedback. When you lift a weight and your muscles burn, that's pain giving you data. It's saying you're pushing the edge. You're expanding your limits. When you face rejection, that sting is feedback. It's saying this area needs strength. Pain is not the enemy. Avoidance is. Every time you dodge discomfort, you reinforce weakness. Every time you numb struggle, you deny growth. Pain reveals truth. It tells you where you're fragile, where you're untrained, where you've been coasting. And if you can learn to listen to it instead of running from it, you'll win in every area of life. Because pain is the process. If it's hard, you're growing. Weak people chase comfort. Strong people chase clarity. And clarity often comes through pain. When life gets uncomfortable, you have two instincts: run or rise. Most run. They change the goal. They lower the standard. They convince themselves they deserve a break. But that's not relief. That's regression. The strong, they stay in the discomfort. They don't see pain as a stop sign. They see it as a mirror. When it hurts, they lean in, because they know that pain is showing them where the work is. You have to understand, discipline doesn't grow in peace. It grows in friction. The quiet moments when your mind screams to stop. That's where identity is built. Here's the truth. Pain exposes what's fake. It strips away the mask. It forces you to see who you really are when it's not easy, when no one's watching, when quitting is an option. When everything's going right, everyone can look disciplined. But when it hurts, when you're exhausted, when you failed 3 times, when no one believes in you, that's when discipline becomes real. Pain introduces you to your true self. And that version of you, the one who doesn't quit when it hurts, that's the one who wins. Pain doesn't destroy character. It reveals it. You have to train yourself to translate pain differently. Most people say, "This hurts. Something's wrong." Discipline says, "This hurts. Something's changing." Pain is data. It's information. It's a signal that adaptation is happening. When you feel resistance, it's not a warning to stop. It's an indicator that growth is taking place. If you never feel pain, you're not progressing. You're not moving. You're not evolving. And if you built your life around avoiding discomfort, you've also built your life around avoiding greatness. Because pain is the toll you pay for power. That's the price. That's the process. Let's talk about behavior. You want to master pain? You start with awareness. Next time you feel discomfort, physical, emotional, mental, stop and identify it. Ask, what is this trying to teach me? That's how you flip the script. Instead of seeing pain as something to survive, see it as something to study. Pain teaches precision. When your body aches during training, it's teaching you your limits. When your mind resists during focus work, it's teaching you where you lack mental conditioning. When your emotions flare during challenge, they're teaching you where your ego still runs your life. Pain is a teacher with no patience for excuses. It tells the truth, instantly, brutally, completely. That's why most people don't want to face it. They don't want to see what it exposes. But you, if you want ruthless discipline, you must confront it. You must use it. Remember this. Pain refines precision. The quiet ones, the disciplined ones, they use pain like data. They extract lessons from it. They use it to sharpen their focus, refine their process, strengthen their resolve. They don't complain about the weight. They adjust their form. They don't whine about the failure. They analyze and improve. They don't avoid the fire. They learn to walk through it because they know if it's hard, you're growing. If it burns, it's building you. If it's uncomfortable, it's molding something new inside you. Pain isn't meant to break you. It's meant to build your threshold. That's what discipline really is. The ability to stay consistent under pressure, to stay focused while it hurts, to execute when you'd rather escape. So let's make this practical. When you feel pain, physical or emotional, pause. Don't run from it. Don't drown it. Don't distract yourself. Observe it. Decode it. Ask, what is this pain trying to teach me about myself? Then, act accordingly. If it's physical pain from effort, use it to track progress. If it's emotional pain from rejection, use it to strengthen resilience. If it's mental pain from discipline, use it to expand endurance. You have to transmute pain into purpose. That's the key. Here's what most people miss. Avoiding pain doesn't protect you, it paralyzes you. Because pain doesn't disappear when ignored. It compounds. The more you run from it, the more it grows in the shadows. The pain of discipline weighs ounces. The pain of regret weighs tons. You get to choose your pain. You either suffer in progress or suffer in stagnation. You either endure the temporary burn of effort or the permanent sting of what if. You have a choice, and that choice defines your entire life. Because every time you lean into pain, you earn strength. Every time you run from it, you lose it. Pain is the process. Pain is the path. And discipline is the destination. So the next time it hurts, remember this. You're not being punished. You're being prepared. You're not being broken. You're being built. That discomfort you feel, that's growth in progress. That resistance, that's evolution. You don't need comfort to feel safe. You need purpose to feel alive. Pain is not a sign you're failing. It's proof you're becoming. That's the truth. And when you understand that truth, you stop running. You stop resisting. You start building. You've now learned that pain isn't your enemy. It's your greatest ally. You've learned that every ache, every struggle, every setback holds data, and discipline is how you use it. You've learned that pain is the process. Now, it's time to take that process and turn it into your greatest advantage. Because those who use pain correctly develop something few ever reach: endurance. You face pain. Now, let's talk about persistence. Chapter 5. Identity over motivation. Motivation fades. Identity doesn't. That's the truth most people never understand. They chase motivation like addicts chasing a high, waiting for the right mood, the perfect moment, the spark to start. But discipline isn't built on sparks. It's built on structure. You don't rise to your motivation. You fall to your identity, because you will always act in alignment with who you believe you are. That's the key. Think about it. When you say, I'm trying to be more disciplined, what you're really saying is, that's not who I am yet. And your subconscious listens. It hears uncertainty. It hears doubt. It hears negotiation. But when you say, I am disciplined, everything changes. You start acting differently, not because you feel inspired, but because you feel responsible. You're no longer chasing an emotion. You're reinforcing an identity. That's the shift. That's the transformation. You've been told to find motivation. Forget that. You don't need motivation. You need conviction. Motivation is a visitor. It shows up when it's easy. It disappears when it's hard. Identity is a resident. It stays when it's cold, dark, and inconvenient. Motivation says, I feel like it. Identity says, this is who I am. That's the difference between amateurs and professionals. Amateurs act when they feel ready. Professionals act because they decided to become ready. You have a choice. You can keep living by emotion or start living by identity. It's not about feeling ready. It's about becoming ready. Here's the truth. Motivation is external. Identity is internal. Motivation needs energy. Identity creates it. When you're motivated, you perform temporarily. When you act from identity, you perform consistently. Motivation burns out. Identity endures. That's why discipline must come from who you are, not what you feel. It's not about emotion. It's about evolution. It's not about hype. It's about habit. It's not about energy. It's about identity. Let's break it down. Every behavior you repeat reinforces who you believe yourself to be. Every choice you make votes for your future identity. You go to the gym once, that's a task. You go every day, that's a lifestyle. You study once, that's effort. You study daily, that's character. Every action is evidence, and the brain collects evidence to build identity. That's why the small things matter. That's why repetition matters. You don't become disciplined one day. You train discipline daily. You don't decide to be focused once. You train focus through every repetition. You act from identity, always. So, how do you change your identity? You act as if you already are who you want to become. That's not pretending. That's programming. If you want to be disciplined, act disciplined. If you want to be resilient, act resilient. If you want to be elite, act elite. Even when it's uncomfortable. Even when it's inconvenient. Because every time you act in alignment with your desired identity, you cast another vote for that version of yourself. Do it long enough, and your brain stops fighting you. It stops saying, "We don't do this." It starts saying, "This is just who we are." That's how you win. That's how you build unstoppable discipline. Let's make it simple. Motivation asks, "What do I feel like doing?" Identity asks, "What would my highest self do?" Motivation is about comfort. Identity is about consistency. You don't need their permission to become that person. You don't even need to feel ready. You just need to act like the person who doesn't quit. The person who follows through. The person who executes, no matter what. You train your identity daily, through small, deliberate, repeated actions. Every rep, every routine, every early morning. That's identity training. That's how you anchor who you are. You want to build an identity that doesn't collapse under pressure? Then stop chasing energy. Start chasing evidence. Because motivation can't be trusted. It fluctuates. It fades. It lies. One bad day and it's gone. But identity? Identity is bulletproof. If your actions are anchored to who you are, it doesn't matter how you feel. You still move. You still execute. You still win. The disciplined version of you doesn't wait for inspiration. They create momentum through identity, through repetition, through commitment. That's the foundation of true power. So here's your real-world instruction. Stop saying, "I need motivation." Start saying, "I need reminders." Reminders of who you are. Write it down. Say it out loud. Visualize it daily. I'm the kind of person who shows up. I'm the kind of person who finishes what I start. I'm the kind of person who doesn't quit. You're not trying to become that person. You're reminding yourself that you already are. Because discipline doesn't come from effort. It comes from identity alignment. That's the key. Let's be real. This isn't about positive affirmations. This is about identity integration. You can say all the right words, but if your actions don't match, your mind won't believe you. Identity isn't declared. It's demonstrated. You build belief through proof. You build identity through repetition. You build discipline through identity. You act from identity. Always. Let me make this even clearer. When motivation fades, identity remains. When emotions shift, identity holds. When comfort calls, identity answers with conviction. You train your identity every single day, through your habits, your decisions, your standards. You either reinforce weakness or reinforce strength. You either train excuses or train execution. You have a choice. Every action is a vote. Every choice is a statement. Every day is a declaration. Who are you training to become? That's the question. When you truly grasp this, you'll stop chasing how to feel motivated. You'll stop searching for external energy. You'll stop waiting for conditions to be perfect. You'll act because it's who you are. You'll execute because that's your identity. And that's when discipline becomes automatic. Not forced, not fragile, automatic. Because you've built it into your self-concept. You no longer ask, can I? You simply say, this is who I am. So stop waiting to feel inspired. Stop waiting for clarity. Stop waiting for the mood. Act first, identity follows. Repeat daily, identity locks in. You don't become disciplined through motivation. You become disciplined through identity. You act from identity. You train your identity daily. You live from identity. That's the foundation of unstoppable people. You've learned that pain builds strength. You've learned that identity builds consistency. Now it's time to learn the next evolution of discipline, endurance. You built who you are. Now you must keep going, especially when it feels endless. You acted from identity. Now let's build staying power. Chapter 6. Systems beat willpower. Willpower fails when it meets friction. Systems make success automatic. That's the truth. That's the key. You've been taught to rely on motivation. You've been told that if you just want it bad enough, you'll find a way. But that's not how discipline works. Discipline doesn't depend on emotion. It depends on architecture. The people who win, they don't rely on willpower. They rely on systems. Because systems remove choice. Systems remove emotion. Systems make progress automatic. It's not about desire. It's about design. It's not about willpower. It's about workflow. Structure sets you free. Here's the problem. Willpower is weak. It burns out fast. It fades under pressure. You can have all the ambition in the world, but if your environment isn't built for discipline, you'll collapse every time. Willpower is a match. Systems are a furnace. A match can start a fire, but it can't keep it burning. If you want lasting progress, you need fuel, airflow, structure. That's what a system is. Controlled fire. Consistent, efficient, relentless. That's the formula for transformation. You have a choice. You can keep fighting your habits, or you can design your life so your habits work for you. Stop trying to force discipline. Start trying to design it. The disciplined don't wake up and decide every day whether they'll train, work, or grow. They built a system that removes the decision entirely. They don't rely on feelings. They rely on frameworks. They don't depend on motivation. They depend on mechanisms. That's how they stay consistent. That's how they win when others quit. Because systems don't care how you feel. They function regardless of mood. Let me give it to you straight. Your environment is stronger than your willpower. You can have all the discipline in the world, but if your environment is built for distraction, you will fail. If your home, your phone, your habits are full of temptation, you are fighting a losing battle. That's not weakness, that's design failure. If your phone is the first thing you see every morning, that's your system. If junk food sits on your counter, that's your system. If your workspace is chaos, that's your system. And your system is producing exactly the results it's designed to. If you want new results, you need new systems. Structure sets you free. That's not control, that's power. You need structure that makes the right choice the default choice. You want to work out? Lay out your clothes the night before. You want to eat clean? Prep your meals before the hunger hits. You want to focus? Block the distractions before the work starts. That's not motivation. That's mechanics. You're not waiting for energy. You're engineering it. That's the difference between amateurs and professionals. Amateurs rely on moods. Professionals rely on systems. They don't hope for consistency. They build it. That's the key. Think about your morning routine. Is it random or is it ritual? Because randomness is the enemy of discipline. If you start your day in chaos, you've already surrendered control. If you start your day with order, you've already won. The disciplined don't guess how their day will go. They decide. They plan. They structure. That's why they move with calm intensity, because they've already removed uncertainty. Their success isn't accidental. It's designed. Discipline is design, not desire. When you build systems, you stop relying on your weaker self. You build guardrails for your better self. You stop giving yourself the chance to decide later. You decide once, through structure. If you want to wake up early, set a bedtime alarm, not just a morning alarm. If you want to read daily, place your book on your pillow, so you must pick it up before sleep. If you want to work out, block it in your calendar as an appointment, non-negotiable. Each of these small systems eliminates friction. Each one frees up willpower for what truly matters. Because that's the truth. Your willpower is limited. Use it wisely. The more systems you build, the less energy you waste on deciding, resisting, and restarting. That's how consistency becomes effortless. Let's make it practical. Step 1. Identify the friction points. Where do you keep failing? Where does your motivation collapse? Be honest about it. You can't fix what you don't face. Step 2. Engineer the environment. Remove temptation. Add accountability. Simplify the process. Make the path to progress smoother and the path to failure harder. Step 3. Automate discipline. Use routines. Use reminders. Use repetition. Every system you build saves you energy. Every piece of structure becomes armor. Because structure isn't restriction, it's protection. That's the mindset shift. Structure sets you free. Most people think freedom means doing whatever they want. That's not freedom, that's chaos. Real freedom is the ability to do what must be done without resistance. And the only way to earn that freedom is through structure. When your systems are solid, you no longer waste energy deciding. You just execute. You move. You flow. That's how you create unstoppable momentum. Systems create strength. Because when life gets chaotic, and it will, your systems will hold the line. Your routines will catch you. Your structure will sustain you. That's how professionals stay calm when others crumble. They don't rely on fragile emotion. They rely on fortified systems. You have a choice. You can keep relying on willpower, hoping it lasts through the storms of life. Or you can build systems that make success inevitable. Discipline isn't about working harder. It's about thinking smarter. It's not about fighting temptation every day. It's about eliminating it once. That's the secret. That's the structure. That's the system. Here's your challenge. This week, audit your environment. Look at your daily habits. Where are you depending on willpower instead of systems? Fix one thing. Just one. Build one small structure that supports your discipline, and watch how everything starts to change. Because once you experience how effortless structure makes discipline feel, you'll never go back to guessing. You'll never go back to chaos. Structure sets you free. Systems create strength. Discipline is design, not desire. That's the law of mastery. That's how you make progress automatic. You've learned to build systems. Now it's time to face the next level, mastering your emotions within those systems. You've built structure. Now you must protect it. Chapter 7. Eliminate the option to quit. You fail because quitting is still an option. That's the truth. That's the reason you start strong and finish weak. You still have a back door. You still have an exit strategy. You're still leaving yourself room to escape. And as long as quitting is an option, it will always become the option. You have to eliminate it. Remove it. Cut it out of your vocabulary, your habits, your mindset. There's only one direction worth moving forward. No back door. No excuses. No exits. That's the key. Most people never commit. They pretend to. They talk about commitment. They post about commitment. But they leave the door cracked open just in case. They say they're all in, but they still check for shortcuts. They still keep the safety net. They still whisper to themselves, if this doesn't work out, I can always stop. That's not commitment. That's convenience. And convenience kills greatness. You can't build an unbreakable life with breakable promises. You can't reach your potential while holding onto the exit sign. You have to make one decision. There is no way out. When you decide once, you don't have to decide again. When you burn the escape routes, the only direction left is forward. That's how you win. Quitting isn't a moment. It's a mindset. It starts small, skipping one day, making one excuse, bending one rule. You justify it. You rationalize it. You tell yourself you'll get back on track tomorrow. But tomorrow never comes for quitters. Quitting becomes a habit, and habits create identity. If you quit enough times, your mind starts to believe it's who you are. That's the danger. You don't just lose the goal, you lose yourself. You have to reverse that pattern. You have to become the person who doesn't quit, not because it's easy, but because quitting is off the table. You have to train that identity. You have to hardwire it into your mind. No back door, no excuses, no exits. You have a choice. You can keep living halfway in, halfway out, or you can decide once and never again. That's the secret of real discipline. You don't keep negotiating with your goals. You make the deal once, and it's final. You want to know why you keep failing? Because you keep debating. You keep asking yourself if it's worth it. Winners don't debate their mission. They execute it. They don't ask, do I feel like it? They say, it's already decided. That's what decide once, never again means. You decide who you are. You decide what you're building. And then you stop asking questions that give you an out. When you remove the option to quit, something powerful happens. Your energy changes. Your focus sharpens. Your fear starts to lose power. Because fear only thrives when there's a door to run through. Once that door is gone, your mind has no choice but to adapt. You find strength you didn't know you had. You get resourceful. You get creative. You get dangerous. When quitting isn't on the table, progress becomes mandatory. That's why burning the ships works. You've heard the story. A commander lands his army on enemy shores, then burns the ships. No retreat. No going back. Victory or death. And what happens? They fight differently. They fight harder. They fight to win because survival demands it. That's what you need to do with your goals. Burn your ships. Destroy your exits. Refuse retreat. No backdoor. No excuses. No exits. You can't build a legacy on conditional effort. You can't lead yourself with as long as it's comfortable. Comfort is the trap. Comfort is the exit disguised as peace. Every time things get hard, your mind whispers, we can stop. It's okay. We've done enough. That's your weakness talking. That's your inner escape route trying to reopen. You have to shut it down. Every time you say, no, this is not optional. You say, we keep going. You say, forward. Only forward. That's the mindset of warriors, athletes, leaders, the ones who outlast everyone else. They outlast because they outdecide. They've already made the decision not to quit, long before things got difficult. It's not about talent. It's not about timing. It's about tenacity. People think success is about being the best. It's not. It's about being the last one standing. Persistence beats potential. Endurance beats excitement. Everyone's excited on day one. Everyone's motivated when the music's playing. But when the noise dies down, when the crowd disappears, when it's just you, the work, and the silence, that's when you see who's truly committed. The ones with no exit, they stay. They show up. They finish. Because quitting simply isn't part of their design. Here's how you build that mindset in real life. Step 1. Remove the if. No more if it works. No more if it feels right. No more if I'm motivated. You replace if with when. When it works. When I make it. When I follow through. Language creates mindset. Mindset creates outcome. Step 2. Cut the exits. Delete the distractions. Remove the alternatives. Stop giving yourself backup plans that sabotage the main plan. If you say you'll write daily, uninstall the apps that steal your time. If you say you'll save money, delete the spending temptations from your life. If you say you'll transform your body, clear the pantry of your excuses. No exits, no options, only direction. Step 3. Decide once. Stop reopening decisions you've already made. Every time you ask, should I keep going, you weaken your resolve. The answer is always yes, because you already decided. That's how the strong operate. They commit once. Then they honor that commitment forever. You don't need more time. You don't need more motivation. You need fewer options. That's the paradox of power. The fewer choices you have, the stronger you become. Because every exit you remove becomes energy you can use for action. No backdoor. No excuses. No exits. That's the formula. That's the discipline. That's how you build a life that doesn't crumble when things get hard. When you eliminate the option to quit, you stop living from emotion and start living from decision. You stop wondering if you'll make it, and you start proving that you will. That's how warriors think. That's how winners live. You have a choice. Decide once. Never again. You've removed the option to quit. You've burned the exits and sealed your commitment. Now it's time to take that same intensity and aim it inward. Because before you conquer anything else, you must learn to master yourself. Chapter 8. Master your mornings. Discipline starts with your first decision of the day. That's the truth. Before the world wakes up. Before the noise begins. Before your phone starts demanding your attention, you set the tone. Mornings are momentum. How you start determines how you finish. Chaos in the morning breeds chaos everywhere. You can't expect focus at noon if your morning began in disorder. You can't expect clarity if you start your day reacting. You win or lose the day before breakfast. That's the key. Win the morning, win the war. Your morning is not a throwaway. It's not just a bridge between sleep and work. It's your launch sequence. Most people hit snooze. They scroll, they delay, and they call it rest. But it's not rest, it's retreat. It's weakness disguised as comfort. You don't need comfort. You need command. You don't need to feel ready. You need to act ready. You have a choice. Every morning, you decide, am I the master of this day or the victim of it? That's why the first hour is sacred. It's not about what you do. It's about what you decide to do first. When you open your eyes, your habits take over. You either reach for progress or you reach for distraction. And whichever you reach for, that's who you become. You can't build discipline on random mornings. You build it on ritual. Ritual builds reality. You act out the person you want to become until you are that person. That's what morning mastery is. Repetition of identity. When you wake up early, when you move your body, when you plan your day, you're not just organizing time. You're programming your mind. You're saying, I control my environment. You're saying, my priorities come before the world noise. You're saying, this day bends to my will. Morning mastery builds daily dominance. Let's make it practical. How do you master your morning? It's not about a 50-step routine. It's not about lighting candles, journaling in 5 colors, or reading a motivational quote. That's fluff. Morning mastery is about one thing: structure. Structure sets you free. You build a simple, repeatable sequence that eliminates decision fatigue. You don't think about what to do next. You know it. Here's the formula. Wake. Move. Plan. Attack. Wake with purpose. Move your body immediately. Plan your priorities. Attack your first task. That's it. For steps that anchor your mind in action before excuses have time to wake up. Step 1. Wake with purpose. No snooze. No hesitation. The second you hit snooze, you've already lost your first battle. You've already told your brain comfort comes before commitment. You have to break that pattern. The alarm is not a suggestion, it's a command. When it goes off, you get up. No negotiation. That one act, that one moment of obedience, sets the tone for everything that follows. You've already proven that discipline beats desire. You don't need to feel like getting up. You need to get up because you said you would. That's the key. Step 2, move your body. Before you touch your phone, before you check messages, move. Why? Because motion creates emotion. You don't wait for motivation to move. You move to create motivation. You prime your system for performance. It doesn't matter what you do, stretch, run, push-ups, walk. It's not about the workout. It's about the wake-up. You remind yourself that your body is your engine, and you control the ignition. When you move, you break inertia. And once you break inertia, everything else gets easier. Win the morning. Win the war. Step 3, plan your priorities. You can't execute what you haven't defined. If you wake up and drift into your day, you'll get pulled by everyone else's agenda. Emails, notifications, obligations, all distractions wearing the mask of urgency. Take 10 minutes. Write your top 3 priorities. Not 10, not 20, just 3. Ask, what must be done today that moves me closer to my mission? That's it. Then commit. Everything else is noise. You don't need their permission. You don't need their approval. You just need clarity and execution. Because if you start your day knowing what matters, you end your day knowing you advanced. That's how you build momentum that compounds. Step 4, attack your first task. Not think, not plan, not talk. Attack. Do the hardest thing first. Do the thing you least want to do. Why? Because it trains your brain to obey your mission, not your mood. When you tackle the hardest task early, everything else feels lighter. You build confidence before most people even wake up. You've already won your first war of the day. That's the foundation of unstoppable momentum. Morning mastery builds daily dominance. Here's the truth. Your day doesn't determine your destiny. Your morning does. Your morning is where you decide whether today will be productive or wasted, whether you'll lead or follow, whether you'll command or comply. That first hour is sacred because it sets your standard, and your standard determines your future. You can't live like a champion with the habits of a coward. You can't demand excellence from life when your mornings start in mediocrity. You have to earn your day before you live it. You have to win your morning before you touch the world. That's the key. You have a choice every single dawn. Be a reactor or be a commander. Be driven by chaos or be grounded in control. You build confidence when you keep promises to yourself. You build identity when your actions match your ambition. And it all starts every single day with the first decision you make after waking up. Don't waste it. Don't give it to the screen. Don't give it to distraction. Give it to your mission. Win the morning, win the war. The first hour is sacred. Morning mastery builds daily dominance. When you own your mornings, you own your life. Because mornings are the training ground for discipline itself. They're the daily test and the daily opportunity to choose control over chaos. Every sunrise is a reset button for your identity. Every sunrise says, prove it again. So prove it. Every day, without fail. You have a choice. Start strong. Stay sharp. Finish relentless. You've learned to command your mornings. Now it's time to command something even more powerful, your emotions. Because discipline over your emotions is discipline over your destiny. Chapter 9, The Cost of Excuses. Every excuse is a transaction. You trade your potential for temporary comfort. You trade your progress for peace of mind. You trade truth for lies that keep you weak. Excuses feel safe, but they cost you credibility. Once you lie to yourself, you lose trust with yourself. And when you can't trust yourself, you can't build anything real. That's the truth. You have a choice. You can protect your comfort, or you can protect your commitment. But you can't do both. That's the key. Excuses are not harmless. They are silent killers. They don't scream, they whisper. They say, you deserve a break. They say, you've done enough. They say, you'll start tomorrow. But they're lying. Every single time. Excuses are dead. You borrow comfort now, and you pay for it later. With regret, with guilt, with wasted potential. You think you're buying relief, but you're building chains. Chains that bind your mind, your habits, and your future. Every excuse delays your destiny. Let's get this straight. An excuse is just a story you tell yourself to justify not keeping a promise. That's all it is. You said you'd wake up early. Then you said you were tired. You said you'd train today. Then you said you were sore. You said you'd start the project. Then you said you weren't ready. Excuses are self-betrayal dressed in logic. They sound rational. They sound intelligent. But they're poison. Because the second you give yourself an excuse, you create an exit. And once an exit exists, discipline disappears. That's the key. You don't need to feel ready. You don't need to wait for perfect conditions. You don't need their permission or your own. You just need to do what you said you would do. Excuses destroy identity because your identity is built on repetition. And every time you act or don't act, you're casting a vote for who you are. You can be the person who follows through, or you can be the person who justifies. But you can't be both. Every time you make an excuse, you reinforce weakness. You reinforce inconsistency. You reinforce the idea that your feelings control you, not your values. That's why excuses are not small. They're not minor slips. They're fractures in your foundation. One crack today becomes collapse tomorrow. You have to take that seriously. Here's the truth most people won't admit. Excuses feel good. They give you relief. They give you justification. They make you feel safe. And that's exactly why they're so dangerous. Because comfort is always more seductive than commitment. Excuses feed the part of you that wants easy. Discipline feeds the part of you that wants evolution. It's not about perfection. It's about direction. You can't move forward while holding onto lies that let you stand still. Every excuse delays your destiny. So let's break this cycle. Let's make it practical. How do you eliminate excuses? Step 1. Catch the story. Excuses always start as stories. I don't have time. I'll start when I feel ready. I need to rest. I don't know how. When you catch the story, you expose the lie. You strip it of its power. Replace the story with truth. I have the same time as everyone else. I'll start before I'm ready. I can rest after I've earned it. I can learn as I go. You can't kill excuses until you confront them. You can't confront them until you recognize them. That's the key. Step 2. Replace emotion with execution. Excuses are emotional reactions disguised as logic. You feel tired, so you rationalize rest. You feel fear, so you rationalize delay. You feel doubt, so you rationalize inaction. Stop negotiating with your emotions. They don't run the mission. Discipline does. The next time you feel like making an excuse, say this to yourself. I can feel this and still do it. Because you can. You can be tired and still act. You can be scared and still move. You can be uncertain and still execute. You have a choice. Always. And every time you choose action over excuse, you rewrite your identity. Step 3. Rebuild credibility with yourself. When you stop believing your own excuses, you start rebuilding trust. Self-trust is the real foundation of discipline. You can't follow through on big goals if you can't trust yourself on small promises. So start with the basics. Keep micro promises. If you say you'll wake up at 6, wake up at 6. If you say you'll train for 20 minutes, train for 20 minutes. If you say you'll write for 10, write for 10. Keep promises so small they're impossible to break. Stack them daily. That's how you build credibility. That's how you destroy excuses. Because when your brain sees that you follow through no matter what, it stops trying to talk you out of action. That's the key. Here's the deeper truth. Excuses don't just kill productivity. They kill potential. They kill reputation. They kill respect, especially self-respect. When you lie to yourself enough, you stop believing in your own word. And when your word means nothing, your will means nothing. That's the real cost. Not just lost time, lost trust. That's why people stay stuck for years. They don't believe themselves anymore. And you can't build a disciplined life on broken promises. You have to make a decision right now. No more excuses. No more exits. No more negotiations. You have a choice, comfort or commitment. Only one leads to greatness. Every time you make an excuse, ask yourself, what am I trading away? Because you are trading something. Always. You're trading your integrity for convenience. You're trading your identity for comfort. You're trading your potential for ease. Excuses are debt, and debt compounds. Every delay, every justification, every "I'll do it later" builds interest that you'll have to pay. With your time, with your energy, with your regret. Stop borrowing comfort. Start investing in consistency. That's the mindset that separates the weak from the relentless. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be honest. When you mess up, own it. When you fall short, adjust. But never justify. You don't need permission to fail. You just need the discipline to rise again without excuses. That's the real power, radical accountability. The ability to look at yourself and say, I did that. I can fix that. I will fix that. No lies. No stories. No escape routes. That's how you earn freedom. That's how you build trust. That's how you destroy excuses before they destroy you. You've now faced the cost of excuses, the silent debt that kills potential. But there's another kind of cost waiting for you, the cost of growth, the pain that purifies, the struggle that shapes. And only the disciplined can endure it. You've cleaned out the lies. Now it's time to build something unshakable. Chapter 10. Ruthless consistency creates freedom. Everyone says they want freedom. They say they want control of their time. They say they want independence, flexibility, peace. But they lie. Because when you look at how they live, they're not free. They're slaves. Slaves to mood. Slaves to impulse. Slaves to distraction. They think freedom comes from doing what they want. It doesn't. Freedom doesn't come from ease. It comes from structure. That's the truth most people never face. The disciplined live freer because they're not ruled by emotion. They're not chasing motivation. They're anchored by consistency. Consistency is freedom. Discipline is liberation. That's the key. You don't rise to your goals. You fall to your systems. Everyone has dreams. Everyone talks about results. But the people who win, they build routines that don't depend on how they feel. That's the difference. That's the separator. Consistency is not glamorous. It's repetition. It's doing what needs to be done, even when it's boring, inconvenient, or invisible. And that's exactly why it works. Because repetition builds reliability. Reliability builds results. Results build freedom. You have a choice. Chase intensity or commit to consistency. Intensity fades. Consistency compounds. That's the key. Let me tell you something about freedom. Freedom is not the absence of rules. It's the presence of discipline. Freedom is waking up early because you decided to, not because you're forced to. Freedom is doing the work because it's who you are, not because someone's watching. Freedom is keeping promises to yourself, even when no one would know if you didn't. That's what separates you from the average. The average man wants freedom from responsibility. The uncommon man wants freedom through responsibility. Big difference. When you have structure, you own your time. When you have habits, you own your day. When you have systems, you own your future. That's real freedom. Consistency is freedom. Here's the brutal truth. If you can't do small things with consistency, you'll never do big things with power. Everyone wants to build empires, but they can't even manage mornings. Everyone wants to change the world, but they can't stay consistent for a week. That's the real problem. Not lack of talent, not lack of resources. Lack of consistency. It's not about motivation. It's about mechanics. It's not about hype. It's about habits. You don't need to feel ready. You just need to be reliable. Consistency is the proof that discipline lives in you, not just around you. That's the key. Think about this. Consistency is the bridge between intention and identity. When you act consistently, you reprogram your self-image. You stop being someone who tries. You start being someone who does. Every time you show up when you said you would, you're teaching your brain, I can be trusted. Every time you execute your plan, you're strengthening your belief, I am disciplined. And that belief is where freedom lives. Because when you trust yourself, you no longer need permission. You stop overthinking. You stop hesitating. You stop doubting. You just do the work. That's real liberation. That's internal freedom. Discipline is liberation. Let's get tactical. Let's make this real. If you want freedom through consistency, here's how you build it. Step 1. Build structure around your priorities. Don't rely on memory. Don't rely on willpower. Rely on systems. Block your time. Schedule your non-negotiables. Protect your mornings like sacred ground. You have a choice. You can live reactive or intentional. Reactive people are slaves to circumstance. Intentional people are masters of consistency. Your calendar is your compass. Use it. That's the key. Step 2. Shrink the process, not the goal. Most people fail because they set massive goals with zero process. They say, I'll go to the gym 6 days a week and miss day 1. They say, I'll write every day for 2 hours and quit after 2 days. The problem isn't the goal, it's the inconsistency. Start smaller. 5 minutes, 1 page, 10 reps. Because consistency builds identity, not scale. Once identity locks in, scale follows. Tiny repetitions build unstoppable momentum. The size doesn't matter. The standard does. That's the key. Step 3. Never negotiate your non-negotiables. This is where most people collapse. They let emotions vote. They let comfort decide. Not you. You have to build rules that override feelings. No matter the mood, no matter the weather, no matter the noise. If it's on your list, it gets done. No debates. No discounts. You don't ask, do I feel like it? You say, it's who I am. Because when your standards are higher than your emotions, consistency becomes automatic. And that's how freedom is built, through the discipline of non-negotiables. Conclusion. You've heard enough. Now it's time to act. You don't need another podcast. You don't need another plan. You need ruthless execution. You have a choice to stay comfortable or become unstoppable. Discipline is your weapon. Repetition is your armor. Structure is your shield. You don't rise by accident. You rise by decision. From this day forward, you no longer move when you feel like it. You move because it's who you are. It's not about motivation. It's not about luck. It's about the relentless habit of showing up. Your excuses are done. Your old identity is dead. Now, build the life your discipline deserves. Because the world doesn't reward the talented. It rewards the consistent. So stand up, commit, execute. This is your new command. Be ruthless. Be disciplined. Be unstoppable.